Hey everyone, welcome to the RotoGrinders Morning Grind Podcast. I'm your host, Stevietpfl. It's Tuesday. It's December 27th. It is 2022 for a few more days anyway. We have a 10-game NBA slate to talk about here for Tuesday, and I'm joined by my good buddy, Will Priester, ChiefJustice06. Chief, hope you had a fantastic holiday, and hope you're doing well, my friend.
I did, man. It was beautiful. Had the whole fam, the whole band was together, the girls and fiance, my son. So it was fantastic, man. And so I'm glad that everybody had a good time. It was a great Christmas experience as usual, and it's just good to be around family. So back at it yet again.
So funny. So my family decided they wanted to do like an Italian Christmas this year for food. And then my wife's family decided they wanted to do an Italian family like Christmas for food. So Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I tore up some Italian food. So I was in a very happy place because if you don't know, tacos and Italian food are that's my jam. I'm always very happy when there's tacos around me or I can get some pizza or something. So, I had a great weekend. Talked about it yesterday, but good weekend. Monday night's NBA slate could go either way. I feel like so. It will be very, very interesting to see how it kind of plays out with this Portland game. Have a lot of exposure to that game, and we were kind of hanging out today, so did a lot of props over there on Sleeper and prize picks and stuff like that. So I need Damian Lillard to show up. Like I'll just sum it up, and I really need Damian Lillard to show up. So
well, hopefully he scores a lot of points and does very little assisting.
I hope he doesn't. Yeah, that's fine. Points. That's what I need. I need points.
Yeah.
What's assists? Score the hoop.
Yeah.
Score the ball. Can't talk. As my little man says, he says get buckets. That's what he tells everybody. He gets buckets.
Get buckets.
Yeah, my dad got him one of those like little Tykes basketball hoops, and he told him, he's like, I'm gonna get buckets. That's what he told him, and I'm like, I've never been prouder. Get buckets. So all right, we got some NBA to talk about. Before we do that, if you haven't already, head on over to Sleeper Fantasy. Check them out. Promo code Grinders, 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Love what they're doing over there. Like I said, jumped on some props here for NFL and NBA on Monday night. And so far, NFL is going pretty well. And we'll see how it kind of plays out. But Dave, what's up? Hope you had a great Christmas as well. And Playmaker, he's going to Charlotte tomorrow, Will. Tell him the places. There's plenty of places to go in Charlotte.
All right. He's going to be in Charlotte. That's awesome. Hopefully go to the Hornets on the West Coast. I don't think they'll be here. You probably can go to the Epicenter and hang out down there. They got bowling and movies. It's like this whole big entertainment fun place. If you're in Charlotte downtown, in the downtown area, that's a good spot. It's just a lot of stuff to do up there, man. If you just roam around, like you're going to run into things to do.
Yeah, if you play disc golf, go to Hornets Nest. You're welcome. All right, we got the Lakers at Orlando to get us started here. 235 total in this one. Orlando is a 4-point favorite. Looking at the injury news, Anthony Davis, we know he's out. LeBron's probable. Schroeder's expected to play. Toscano Anderson is out. And on the Magic, they're starting to get healthy. It's only Isaac, Okeke, and Suggs on the injury report now for the Magic. Orlando, they're interesting for sure. But let's start here with the Lakers. Lakers play at the second fastest pace in the NBA. Orlando is a bottom 10 defensive team. The Lakers, they've been all over the place, I think is the best way to put it defensively. What are your thoughts here on LA going into Orlando?
I think you can get in on these main guys. LeBron should have another good game. Thomas Bryant's been playing okay. I still think it's the LeBron show. Russell Westbrook 7,200. He should be fine as well. But I mean, I need Russ to start getting back into the 40s. It feels like it's just LeBron, and I think that's about it for me with the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, this game has a lot of upside, I think. It's just trying to like pinpoint it. I mean, LeBron at 10-6, I think he's in a fantastic spot here. I think he crushes. I mean, Westbrook at 72. I don't know if he has the ceiling with LeBron playing to really pay off the price tag. So I think I'm, potentially taking shots on like Thomas Bryant. He kind of busted last game. That could, scare some people off of him. But I think he's someone Orlando likes to play big, and I think they're going to need his size in this game. And I don't think they want to play Gabriel like 20, 25 minutes. So I really think it's going to be I really think it's going to be Bryant. He's under 6K. And then on the Orlando side of this game, I mean, there's upside here. It's just there's so many guys now. Like it's so crowded now. I think Fultz at 5,900, he has massive upside. He really does. You're not going to get consistency out of him, but you get upside. Wagner, he's kind of priced up. I worry about his price. The guy that's really interesting to me, though, Will, is Cole Anthony. Like, he's getting minutes. He's 5K. Large field tournament play, maybe. I just worry.
I think I'm sorry. He's a great player.
Go ahead. Yeah,
he's Markelle Fultz. He's to me, he's a better Markelle Fultz play because Fultz starts, he's $900 more, and Cole Anthony comes off the bench and just shoots all the shots. Like, you know what I mean? He's really been playing well considering he's playing low 20s minutes every game.
Yeah, it's minutes. I mean, did he get extra minutes because of the blowout the other night against San Antonio?
So.
Yeah, so that's my biggest concern. I still think Fultz is the guy they want to get the minutes to. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's go. Anything else from Orlando? I don't want to cut you off on your Orlando thoughts.
No, I'm good.
All right, we got Philadelphia going into Washington, 221 total in this one. The 76ers, a 4.5 point favorite. On the Philly side, I mean, Maxi's out. That's really it. And then on the Washington side, Denny is questionable. And that's really it for them. So, I mean, two pretty full-strength teams. What do you got here for Philly?
Well, I'm always in the mood to play some Joel Embiid, man. I mean, he's a guy that continues to get it done. He's down to 10-9. We've seen, saw a little dip the last game, but I like this spot for Embiid. He puts up 60. I'm feeling really good. James Harden also priced down to 9,700. He's another guy that's actually been playing fairly well. Past two games, Stevie, 67 and 71 fantasy points. I mean, that's big time production for James Harden. I mean, we're going back to Houston 2019. So, with these types of numbers, so I like James Harden as well. I feel like he goes under the radar on this slate. Pretty big slate. I don't think anybody wants to play 9,700 for James Harden, but the man is averaging 51 fantasy points a game. Which, if you weren't actually looking at the data, Stevie, you'd think he's just coasting, right? But the guy's been putting up pretty good performances. 9,700, I'd take that all day for 60 fantasy points.
I think Harden has some big upside for sure. I think it's really tough to get like ceiling games from Embiid and Harden on the same team. So I'm probably making a group and making sure I don't play more than one of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Lineup HQ. With everybody healthy, I think Tobias at 66 is probably too much. I think everybody healthy, Melton at 6K is probably too much. So it's really, for me, looking at like a Harden or an Embiid, and that's really it. I mean, Shake Milton's minutes have kind of gone away. I mean, it's just a really healthy team right now. So either Harden or Embiid if I'm going there. On the Washington side, I mean, Beal has been out on and off here. It feels like for like a month and a half. This has gotten Porzingis and Kuzma's prices kind of all over the place. Kuzma played really well here with Porzingis kind of in and out as well. I don't think I want to pay this price tag for Porzingis or Kuzma, but Beal under 8K, if he could have like a lights out shooting night, I think he's someone that could easily go for 40 plus fantasy points. And I'm very interested in him at this price point.
Yeah, man. 7,800 for Beal. Although the upside hasn't been there consistently this season, and Stevie, I think we've been around each other long enough to where like when certain players just start taking a dip in salary, I just go ahead and get on the train because once they hit that too cheap level, you have to play them. And that's how I feel about Beal. I'm with you 100% here. I definitely think this is a good spot. Kyle Kuzma, I think he's I think he's overpriced if for Porzingis to be back in the fold. And not that he hasn't played well, but I just think he's overpriced. I wish Rui Hachimura was getting more minutes on a consistent basis. I mean, we saw him in the upper 20s here recently. Maybe you roll him out and see if they give him the minutes one game while they're at full strength completely, and let's see what happens. I do like him at 4K.
Anything else in this one, or are we moving on?
Let's move it.
All right. Nick Foles looks terrible. Anybody that's watching the football game and listening to the podcast, Nick Foles looks terrible. I mean, the Colts they're 4-9. They don't have anything to play for, so it doesn't really matter. But Houston at Boston. We got a 232 total in this one. Boston's a 14.5 point favorite. Houston, second end of a back-to-back, so we won't have an injury report for them in this one. And then Gallinari is the only one that's out here for Boston. So Houston, a very young team. So unless some injury news comes out from Monday's game, I expect them all to play. Will, talk to me. What do you like here, if anything, for the Rockets?
Not much, Steve. I think this game has some blowout potential.
14.5 total.
Yeah. And Houston are back to back going into Boston, who, I know they had a little rough stretch there, but I mean, they put on a masterful performance on Christmas Day. I mean, we saw the stars come out, and Jason Tatum put up 41, man. 41. And I don't think there's going to be any Christmas hangover. This team is interested in winning. Houston is not. I don't want to play anyone with Houston, Stevie. I think they're all sitting on the shelf for me.
I mean, they're coming off of a monster game on Monday. KPJ had one of his best games of the season.
Do you want to know why, Stevie?
What's that?
Because I played an under, just so you know.
That didn't work out for you.
if you must know.
I mean, my main target yesterday in the podcast from this team was Sengun. He would probably be the guy that I'm looking at again. This game screams blowout. It really does. Can they keep it close enough where these guys get the production? I think if you're playing like a Brown or a Tatum, you run it back with like a KPJ, Sengun, or Green. But one of my least favorite games on the slate. I mean, Houston's a team that I love to target. They allow a ton of fantasy points per game. They're not a great defensive team. But with them on the back-to-back, I just don't see them keeping this game close. Yeah, I mean, game stack, like a 2 or 3 man stack would be the only way that I'm getting exposure to Houston or Boston, really. And I don't think I'm going to make enough lineups to start stacking the Houston at Celtics game.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. If I was going to play anyone out of this game, maybe Tatum under 11K, hoping that he just goes nuclear in a half or something. But I feel like they're going to easily win this game. I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I mean, a Tatum Sengun or a Tatum Kevin Porter Jr. type of stack is how you could, potentially get exposure to this game. All right. Moving on. You have Jonathan Taylor. It's 4th and 1, and you try to sneak it with Nick Foles.
JT's out. They
Oh, okay. That's right.
But still, they still got Zach Moss. He's respected.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that Taylor. Either way.
Yeah, just hand it to Zach Moss. Like, what are you doing?
Why are you running it with Foles? Was my biggest thing there. Anyway, I don't listen. This game is awful. I am glad we're doing the podcast. 218.5 total. We got Clippers and Raptors. Raptors a 5.5 point favorite. 5 on some books. Just kind of depends where you're looking. Back-to-back for the Clippers, and then on the Toronto side, Precious is doubtful, and Kevin Porter or Otto Porter Jr. remains out. What do you like here for the Clippers?
So Clippers, like you said, they're on a back-to-back as well. We know Kawhi was out Monday or for the previous game. I feel like he plays in this one. At least I think, Stevie. And his price is coming up. So I'm still slightly interested though if he plays at 7,900. I think the big games are coming, and what I like is we've seen his minutes trend up. Like that Philly game, Stevie played 34 minutes. If we start getting 34 minutes from Kawhi, he scored 28 real points, Stevie. We start getting 34 minutes from Kawhi, I think we're gonna be sitting pretty here if he stays at 7,900. So I'm very excited about him if he plays. And then after that, it's probably just him and Paul George because they're going to be the main cogs.
Yeah, I mean, they sat Kawhi on Monday's game, so I fully expect him to be back in this one. Maybe they sit Paul George on the second end, and you get Kawhi with no Paul George at 7,900. I'm with you, though. I do like Kawhi regardless in this game. I would be shocked if John Wall plays. He was questionable with an ankle on Monday. I don't think they play him on the second end of a back-to-back. So you're going to have to kind of see who's in and who's out here. But I do have a lot of interest in Kawhi Leonard with or without Paul George. It's just if Paul George sits, I start looking at more like options in this one for the Clippers. And then on the Toronto side, I mean, Siakam's 10-1. He's capable of putting up 60, 70 fantasy point games. He is definitely someone I think you could take some shots on in this matchup. What are your thoughts on the Toronto side?
Yeah, I don't hate Siakam at 10-1. I mean, he's been putting up monster numbers, really, Steven. He's been playing monster minutes, like 52, 76, 68. Those are his last three. So he's probably going to get big minutes here again. Fred VanVleet has also been playing big minutes. So I don't hate him as I do believe all these guys are going to, as usual. Like you talked about John Wall sitting, I definitely agree with that. I think he almost didn't play tonight or, for the previous slate. So he's probably definitely a candidate. So I do like Fred VanVleet as well. He's kind of a sneaky play. I don't think anybody's going to get him. He does have some pretty good upside. All in all, I think that's about it. All their main guys are going to play all the minutes. Gary Trent is just a guy that right now is too score independent with too little minutes. So even though he's 5,300, that's not 5,300 of old school Gary Trent. That's new school Gary Trent. So we're done with him for now.
If he's back in the starting lineup, I think you could take shots on him at 53. I mean, he got hurt in that Sacramento game. He only played 25 minutes, and then he came back the other night, came off the bench against Cleveland, played 20 minutes. I mean, that's 4 days ago. So I could see Gary Trent getting his like 33 to 40 minutes in this game. And at 5,300, he's definitely interesting. I don't think he'd be like one of the first guys off the court if the game kind of got out of hand either. So I think Gary Trent in large field tournaments, if he's starting, is in play.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta at Indiana taking on the Pacers. 231 total in this one. The Pacers a 2-point favorite. Again, another back-to-back here. The Pacers, they got ran out of the gym on Monday night. On the Atlanta side, Capella's out. Hunter is questionable and Culver's out. What are your thoughts here on the Hawks?
Man, look, this team healthy. I feel like it's hard to play a lot of these guys, Stevie. Like, I know Capella's out. I know Kongu is going to play some minutes, and he's had two really good games back to back. But John Collins is back, and Stevie, we talked about it. When was the time to play him? Because at some point his minutes were going to go back up, right? Like, and we saw that in the previous game, back up to about 30 minutes. He'll probably play about 30 in this spot. He's, I think, the target that I want to get in on in this game, especially with Capella out. That's a really good price if he's going to play, anywhere remotely close to 30 minutes. Trey should be okay too, and DeJounte should be okay. But I think I side with DeJounte on this one in a pace-up spot, which they already played fairly quickly, but in a spot against Indiana on the road. Indiana's back at home. I feel like I'm going to side with DeJounte on this one with the discount.
Is it weird not to have a ton of interest really in anybody in this game? I mean,
it's not too weird because the pricing's awkward. The guys are out in awkward spots. Like Capella's out again, but you know what I mean. Like, I get it.
Like, Trae Young has 60+ point ceiling, and I mean, a matchup against Pacers, you're excited about that matchup, but just overall, I just struggle here. Bogdanovich, with everyone kind of with Collins coming back, and you're not getting that production you were getting from him. Okongwu, his minutes have kind of dipped here recently. Was it the blowout against Detroit? John Collins at 5,400 is somewhat interesting if they're going to give him minutes, but I want to like this game. I do, because I love to target, Indiana. They're one of the best teams in the NBA to target. They're six, I think, 6 in pace. And I mean, their defense is kind of all over the place. I think they're 18th in defensive rating, but it jumps all over the place. I'm just struggling with the Atlanta side. I definitely don't mind DeJounte. You can play him at shooting guard on DraftKings too, which is nice. What are your thoughts on the Pacers side?
Yeah, man. I think Halliburton at 9K is the answer, right? That's the right answer here. That's a really big dip in price for him when he's been above 9K for an extended period of time this season. And I like the upside in this spot against Atlanta.
Not worried about DeJounte Murray defense?
I'm not. Because he doesn't have to get – he's not a guy that has to score 25, 30 points to have a 60-point game. The real upside for him is 18 to 20 points and the 15 assist game. That's where his upside, I think, comes into play. So if he scored 17 points and picked up 12, 13 assists, a few rebounds, he's right there. So I like him at 9K. I think the discount is worth it.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to see if Miles Turner is going to play the back-to-back. Excuse me. He's kind of been all over the place. If he were to sit, it could open up some stuff here on the Pacers side of things. But another team that, if everybody plays, the pricing is pretty close to where I feel like it should be. So I struggle with them. I don't know, man. I'm struggling on the Pacers side. Halliburton, I think, like you said, is the answer, but I'm concerned about DeJounte Murphy defense, so maybe I take some shots. I think Buddy Hield. Maybe he gets a few extra shots in this game. San Antonio at OKC, taking on the Thunder. 235.5 total here. Thunder. Yes, the Thunder, 6.5-point favorite. Back-to-back for San Antonio. So we'll wait and see if anything comes out of that one. Holmgren remains out. Deng is out. Robinson Earl is out for the Thunder. What, if anything, do you like here for San Antonio?
Um, Not much, man. I mean, Vassell at 6,900, I think is fair. That's cheaper than he's been because he's been in that 7K range. Keldon's 7,300. That's okay. Do they sit Poto on a back to back, or does he play
just
limited
played
minutes?
a back to back right before the Christmas break.
But he was playing 20 minutes. I think his minutes have come up. So if they're going to play him, I do like him at 5,700. I think that's a great price if he's going to get close to 3 minutes. Outside of that, though, I'm really not interested in the Spurs too much.
Kind of where I'm at. Just not a ton of interest, really, for me. Needed that Eckler touchdown right there. That would have been nice. Yeah, I mean, not a ton of interest for me in this game. Just in this game, like everyone's kind of healthy on the OKC side of things. There you go, Eckler. So I mean, for me on the San Antonio side, maybe I take some like tournament shots on like Trey Jones, but like the problem too is like Trey Jones's price it just doesn't make a ton of sense. I mean, I'm struggling for San Antonio in this game. I don't really have a ton of interest in either side. Like the Thunder side, SGA being healthy, Giddey being healthy, like there's just not a ton that I like here, even on the Thunder side of this game.
Yeah, I don't hate SGA, but outside of that, I'm with you. Like I'm not playing too many guys.
Yeah, SGA is someone I can get my exposure to, like points, rebound, assists, points. However, I want to get my exposure, like on a sleeper or on a prize picks or something. Like I can get my exposure to SGA that way, and I don't have to play him in a game that I don't love. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I think. I mean, the Spurs are crushing the Jazz right now. They're up 12. I guess they're not crushing them, but they're playing really well. Vassell and Podol are both having really good games. So we'll have to see if anything comes out of the game. They're still playing Shokan plenty of minutes, and he's 4,100. So who knows? All right, moving on. We got Phoenix at Memphis. Nice to talk about some different teams here. 228 total. Memphis a 6.5 point favorite. On the Memphis side, Danny Green remains out. On the Phoenix side, Devin Booker is already ruled out. Cam Johnson, Cam Payne, and Shamet are out for Phoenix. We'll start with the Phoenix side. I mean, Ayton has been playing fantastic with Booker off the floor this season. He's 7,500. I like him a lot in this matchup. He's someone that even going up against like a Steven Adams, I could see Ayton having a really good game here. Chris Paul has shown some 50-plus point upside. I think that he is super interesting. And then, like, if you want to, take some shots on cheaper options here, I don't love the Torrey Craig play, but, if Damian Lee is going to continue to get, like, these random minutes and play really well, like, tournament pool, I mean, he's easily can get 10 fantasy points too, but I think he's worth, like, a tournament pool type of play.
Yeah, for sure. Here's what I will say about Phoenix. When Booker doesn't play, this is an odd team to me. And what I mean by that is I don't know who the big or who the winner is going to be of the big game that shows up. So in a general sense, it could be Mikal Bridges, right? Like it could be. It could be Damian Lee. Landry Shamet, he's not going to play. But my point is, I don't know who it's going to be. So I just have to get some exposure to all of them and build around the pillars. And you mentioned Ayton. Definitely like Ayton here. I think, he's going to be a great play. The point guard himself, Chris Paul, he could have a big game as well, but they're on the road. I do trust Memphis to win this game. I think if I'm playing anybody straight up, I think I take a shot on Damian Lee and Ayton.
Yeah. Yes, Derek. I know Lillard had 0 points, real points in the first quarter. I know. Well, I'm aware. Oh, it's Monday. It's Monday, Will. It's Monday. We're recording Monday night like we always do. It feels like a Monday. So anyway, on to the other side of this game, the Memphis side. I don't know. John Morant's 10-3. Bane being back definitely going to hurt, even like John Morant's usage a little bit. I like the idea of running back some Phoenix exposure because Booker's out and Johnson and Payne are out, but I'm struggling who, if anybody, I want to run it back with here on the Memphis side.
I think I roll it with Ja, number one, right? Like, look, man, the upside. Like at 10-3, if he plays, and he probably will play close to normal minutes, he could go for 60 here. Like, as much as I like Chris Paul, Stevie, like, he's not the same Chris Paul on defense. You know what I mean? Like,
no, he's not. Yeah.
He's old. So I love Ja here. Yeah, they'll switch. I know they'll do some things, but I like him a ton. I think Bane being back is actually going to help him. So this is big time for me with Memphis here. He's kind of my main guy. Brandon is someone that's been sneaky, Stevie. Like, do you think he could? I think you get him in your pool. Like, he could sneak the 30 points here, and nobody be like, "Oh, Brandon Clark got 30 tonight." Like, so I like him as well. And I think those are some of my favorites. I know Steven Adams is 5,200. He's a guy that we can play, but I think this is a Brandon Clark game. I like him a lot.
All right, Brandon Clark. We got the Knicks at Dallas. That's it. I have to draw the line somewhere. The Knicks and Dallas. Going into Dallas, taking on the Mavs, 221 total here. Mavericks a 5-point favorite. On the Knicks side, I mean, Brunson is questionable. Obi Toppin remains out. On the Dallas side, Finney Smith, Josh Green, Maxi Kleber out. Kimba and Nick Lakina are questionable. What do you like here for the Knicks?
I mean, is Julius Randle trying to get MVP season, Stevie? This man Randle. Is... Listen, 35 against Philly. Yep. Stevie, 35. I mean, 35, 8, 4, block, 2 steals, 58 fantasy against Philly. Steve. Like, not like Charlotte, Philly, okay? 29 before that, 30 before that. Golden State at 15, 12, and 5. He put up 38 fantasy points, Stevie, and he probably played a season low 30 minutes because they were blowing the Warriors out. Like, this, Julius Randle's been amazing. So I like him a ton. Even against Dallas, like, he should be unstoppable. We're seeing him get back close to what he was doing before. So I like him a ton. Yeah. So there you have it. It's the Julius Randle show. Aside from that, Mitch Robb at 5,300. He's too cheap, Stevie. Even if he doesn't hit, he's too cheap. Like, this man can put up 40. I like him a ton. I know Quentin Grimes is back and is helping their defense. He's playing big minutes. I don't mind him in this spot because this should be a competitive game, and I love competitive games.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make the Luka Randle stack work, I mean, it has massive ceiling. Randle's usage is through the roof right now over the last couple weeks. He's just crushing. Look at his shot attempts, over 17 and 4 of the last 5. Like, this guy has massive upside right now. And we know the ceiling that Luka is capable. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if these guys combined for like 130 plus fantasy points in this game. So, I mean, on the Dallas side of things, Luka definitely has some interest in him. Christian Wood is getting some love. He's just 7,700. He's so expensive that, you need him to have like that ceiling game. Dinwiddie at 66 is kind of priced up. I don't mind Hardaway at 58. It's just he even got like a price increase. With no Finney-Smith. Reggie Bullock could play minutes. He's 4K. It's not useful DFS minutes, but he's on the court. So I don't love Dallas. I like Luka a lot, but I feel like Wood, Dinwiddie, Hardaway, they're all kind of priced where they should be. Maybe I take a shot on Bullock if I need it, but I probably don't end up there.
Yeah, here's what I will say. If I knew Christian Wood was going to continue to play 35 to 38 minutes a game, I'd play him at 7,700. But I don't know. I don't know when I have no clue.
Doesn't even know.
Yeah, so I can't play him. Luka's in play in this one. I know it's a big slate, 12K though, competitive game. I don't mind Luka at all. And then can somebody please explain to me why Kemba Walker is still 6,200? That's just an aside. At any rate, yeah, I think it's the Luka show, and that's it for me.
All right, we got 2 games left. We got Charlotte at Golden State. 237.5 total. The Warriors a 4-point favorite. Charlotte second end of a back-to-back. We'll wait and see if anyone sits or plays. I mean, LaMelo has already played a back-to-back, so I think that we don't have to necessarily worry about him. And I mean, it doesn't sound like Rozier has any lingering effects, so maybe I'd be more worried about Rozier playing than I would be LaMelo playing. On the Golden State side, Steph is out. JaMychal Green is out. He's in health and safety protocol, so he's ruled out or listed out. He could easily get upgraded, so watch that. And then Wiggins and Iguodala remain out as well. Talk to me, Will. What do you like for your Charlotte Hornets here?
Man, look, I like the whole team on this one, Stevie. Golden State's been rough. I know they had a much better game over the Christmas holiday break there with Memphis. And LaMelo's expensive. I hate this price. Like, I wish he was still 8,500, but he's not. So, that's kind of where we're going to end up. But Plumlee at 5,600, as bad as Charlotte has struggled inside, Golden State's been equally as bad. I like Plumlee today, and then if we get Nick Richards sitting again, like, give me all the PJ Wash that I can handle at 5,200. Like, he's going to be a great play. I haven't really been playing a whole lot of Hayward, and we'll kind of see how they handle the rest of the team tomorrow. But I feel like the cheap guys are the guys I like the most in this spot because of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see if everyone plays. I don't love it. I mean, I could see. Man, Rozier at 71 seems very, very interesting. PJ Washington. I mean, he might play some 5 in this game. Like, Mason Plumlee might get run off the court in this game, and this game might go small. So I could see Mason Plumlee playing like 25 minutes in this game, and like PJ Washington playing like 30, 35 minutes in this game. So maybe I like PJ Washington more than I initially thought. But if everybody plays, he would be my main target. Maybe some tournament target on Rozier. I think you always, if you're running anything over like 20 lineups, I think you always have to have LaMelo in your player pool. His ceiling is just too massive. Talk to me. What do you like here for Golden State?
Well, I mean, Jordan Poole's 8,200, and I think even on this slate, Steve, I may have to play him now. I don't like the fact that he scored 32 points against Memphis and only put up 37 fantasy points. Like, that sucks real bad. But I still think it's worth it for the situation. Like, I think it's worth it. Draymond, he's 5,900. We saw massive upside from him. 13 and had a double-double in rebounds and assists, only scored 3 points. He isn't going to do this as often as he used to, I don't think, Stevie. But I still get Charlotte, like, we can take some shots. We've got DiVincenzo at 6,500. I don't think I can do that. The one guy I will say I think we can pull the trigger on. And this, I mean, it's not sneaky. He's a guy that we've been playing anyway. It's Kuminga. I know he only got 17 minutes against Memphis. If he gets anywhere in the mid-20s against Charlotte, he should have a big game. So I like him a ton.
Yeah, I mean, with Draymond probable, I worry about like Kuminga's minutes. You mentioned it. I think Draymond at 5,900 is gosh, Charlotte's so bad at rebounding the basketball that if Draymond's going to go out and play 30 plus minutes, this is a spot he could double. I mean, we saw him come out a big game on Christmas Day. 5,900 is somewhat interesting for me. For Draymond, I like the Jordan Poole call. You don't want to pay you 200 for him, but he has the upside. I mean, he took 25 shots against Memphis the other night. Didn't do anything else, like you mentioned. Really wish he'd just stop turning over the basketball. He's turning over the basketball so much. So I worry about that. But Klay Thompson, 7K. I think he's another guy that he's going to get a ton of shots up in this game. And, I mean, Charlotte's not the best defensive team. I think they're like 27th, if I remember from my research earlier today. So, I mean, Golden State plays so fast. Charlotte plays so bad defensively that I think you definitely want to have some exposure to Klay in this game as well.
Yeah. 7K, I don't hate it.
Will tell you, Charlotte's defense is not good. Not good at all. We finish it out with Denver at Sacramento. 236.5 total in this game. Denver a 3-point favorite. I mean, no real injury news here outside of, Sabonis questionable, but everything I've read says he's expected to play. But I mean, it sounds bad when you read what the injury is, was it fracture or something? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound like he should play, but okay, we'll see. Because I mean, if he is out, that's huge for Sacramento. It potentially opens up a lot, so we'll see how that kind of plays out. But let's start with the Denver side of things here. Obviously Jokic. Gosh, his Christmas Day game, 15-15-41. 15-15-41.
Yeah. Insane.
He just wanted to remind everybody that he's really good at basketball.
Yeah, and he shot 64% from the field too. Hey, but guess what, Steve? He shot 57% before then. It's insane. 50% the game before that. 50% the game before that. 53% the game before that. Unbelievable.
Oh, Will, talk to me. What do you like here for Denver?
Well, we like Jokic. Jamal Murray in this spot, Steve, at 7,100 though. Sign me up. Past couple games, look at the minutes, Stevie. 39, 41, 35 before that, even against Charlotte. 36 against the Lakers. This is what I was waiting on with Jamal Murray. And if he keeps playing these minutes, Stevie, he'll be 8K by next week or the week after that. Now's the time to hop on the Jamal Murray train. And he should reward you in this situation. So I like him as much as I like Jokic. Jamal Murray at this price, incredible.
Gotta love it, right? Gotta love it. Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
What has gotten Aaron Gordon has a little pep in his step right now.
He's been playing great.
I don't know. How much can you trust Aaron Gordon, especially with Michael Porter Jr. back?
I don't trust him at this price. And he's been crushing it, Stevie. But you know me, man. The minute I play Aaron Gordon at 6,600, you need to check my temperature and make sure I don't have a fever. Because you go ahead and do it, and he's going to put up 15 fantasy points.
That happened too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the Kings side of this game, I think it all just really depends on. I think it all depends on Sabonis. If Sabonis were to sit, it changes the whole slate, not just this one spot. It changes the whole slate. What are your thoughts on Sacramento?
Yeah, if he sits, like you said, it does change the whole slate. I guess my question is, perhaps who is the person that kind of steps in here? Is it Rashawn Holmes? Maybe. Is it Chimezi Metu? Because he's played some. Like I'm saying, or in the past is what I mean. Do they play Alex Lynn? Do they do this, something weird and just put Trey Lyles at center and run a small ball on it? I don't think so, because somebody's got to deal with Jokic. I don't know how they would handle it. But what I do know is that would make De'Aaron Fox, Herter, Malik Monk, Barnes, Keegan Murray, all these secondary guys would be very interesting. And I think you'd want a sprinkle of them all.
I mean, if Sabonis sits, I mean, I think one of my favorite plays on the entire slate, if Sabonis were to sit, would be Herter. I would like Keegan Murray a lot as well. I don't know if we get like Trey Miles playing a ton of minutes or Lyles playing a ton of minutes. He's 3,600. So this news changes the entire slate.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's play the morning grind game. Yes, Derek, I agree with you. Nick Foles is not good. Favorite play under 5K to go 7X. Will, who do you got today going over 7X?
Let's see. I really like Brandon Clark today, and I know it's weird, man. I think this is a game for him. Give me Brandon Clark.
I thought you were gonna take my guy. I really did. I'm gonna go Cole Anthony for 7X today.
I like it.
Over 8K to go under 5X. Who's your bust today?
Give me Jaylen Brown against Houston.
I'm going Jason Tatum. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I just don't see Houston keeping this game close. And I mean, I could see Jason Tatum having a good game, but I know I'm going to be underweight on him. So that's kind of where I'm going to end up. Who's your favorite 6X play today?
This is another tough one for me, but this is a guy I talked about earlier, and I think he's going to play. Give me Kawhi Leonard. I think he's going nuts here.
I like that one. I'm going to go DeAndre Ayton. He's just been so good this season with Devin Booker off the floor that I really like this spot for DeAndre Ayton. And I mean, I like him to go 6X. Let's get weird. GPP play of the day. Someone you think is going to potentially be under 10% owned that you like today?
I think DeJounte Murray goes under owned, even though he's cheap. I like DeJounte at 8,300.
I don't hate that. My let's get weird GPP play today is going to be PJ Washington. This is a game where I could see PJ Washington and Draymond playing the 5 against each other, and PJ Washington getting like 35 minutes and having a good game. So PJ Washington is my let's get weird GPP play of
I like
the day.
Any
bets standing out to you here night before?
Nothing crazy. I do think I'm going to take the over in the Charlotte game, though. Even though it's already fairly high. Like, we saw them play the Lakers, man. I think it blew past 260. Like, give me the over in the Charlotte game.
All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I am good, my man. I am good. Hopefully everybody had fun. I enjoyed hanging out with the YouTubers.
Yeah, if you haven't, if you don't know, you can join the RotoGrinders Morning Grind YouTube page over there. Subscribe and all that fun stuff. And yeah, I mean, come hang out with us. We try to record at 10 Eastern every night, so it's like the same time every night. So yeah, come come hang out. And yeah, like I said, love it. Love the fact that people get to interact with the show. We'll be back tomorrow talking some more NBA. Hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday. Good luck. We will see you then.